Hey guys, what's up? I don't usually do these, but I wanted to talk a little bit today about relationships because a lot of people have been writing me in about feeling lonely or like how to get guys or girls to like them or pay attention to them or that they're having issues in their relationships. And I mean, I understand. Like, no one wants to be alone. I get that. And a big part of adolescence is finding someone to be with. And I know that it feels like the end of the world right now, but I really, really want to convey that it isn't. Like, there's nothing wrong with being alone right now. Even if you're not an adolescent, I mean, there's so many people who will say to you all the time, like, you're young, just date around or don't date at all, whatever. And I mean, I think to an extent they're right. I think relationships in general are important in life with your friends, with your family, with a significant other. But I mean, it shouldn't be a deciding factor on your happiness. Like, I've done the long term boyfriend thing. I've done the 5 years, um, so like the end of high school and the majority of college. And at the time, I remember thinking like I'm so happy and so lucky to be stable in this stable relationship. Everything about my life is stable because I have a stable relationship. And I mean, it's not necessarily true. Like, now I'm alone, and there's nothing wrong with that. I spent my whole life having another name attached to mine. Even when it wasn't my boyfriend, even in high school, my best friend of the time, it was always me and her. So it was like Liz and Jenna. And then I dated the same guy for a very long time, so it was always Liz and him. And it was like, I was happy with that at the time, but now I don't see anything wrong with just being Liz. And I mean, yeah, I get lonely. Everyone gets lonely, but I just I don't see like some significant other fixing that. I mean, I've got my friends, I've got my family, I don't school anymore. I have a degree, but I have a job, and then I have my dog who's looking at me right now, like, what are you doing? But I've got a life, and and just some guy or girl, whatever, it's not going to change that. Like, I just don't need that. There's some people who have a really hard time being alone, and I really thought I was going to be one of those people once we broke up. But, I mean, it was hard at first, but I'm just not. I mean, I'm happy being alone, and I think that's really okay. And I think the thing is because we say alone, but we don't mean it. Like, I'm alone, but I've got family. I've got a very close family. I've got a couple of friends that I love very, very much. Um, I've got all of you, which is just awesome. And I mean, I think that when I say you're not alone, a lot of you don't believe me, or you kind of like, like, yeah, but it doesn't really count because they're online or something. But it does count, you know, and not just me answering something that you've asked or giving you some kind of advice, but also, I mean, all these people who write in and answer your questions or say I'm in the same exact position. Like, just because you can't sit with them and talk to them face to face doesn't change the fact that they're there for you. Um, they are, and I am, and I think that a lot of you would say, yeah, I'd be here for anyone who needs help. Someone who wrote in my ask or something, I would definitely help them. So I think you really need to understand that there are other people who would do that for you as well, and you're not alone. And I really, really mean it. I genuinely mean it. And I know that it's hard to believe sometimes, but there's just so many of us out here, and we're willing to lend a hand, just an ear, just to listen. Like, even if you don't need advice, I mean, you just need to vent or to just talk something out. Like, we're here, and that should be fulfilling for your life, like your friends and your job and your career or school or just anything, your art. Like, if you write or you paint or you, even if it's not art, anything you do, you volunteer, whatever. You can sing, you can dance. That's so fulfilling, and that should be the most fulfilling part of your life. Like, there are so many of you who have all these things, but don't feel like your life is complete because you don't have a significant other, and it's like, it's just so upsetting to me. because your life is fulfilling. And you can lead a completely fulfilling life with or without a significant other. I mean, I really think that the meaning of life is other people and relationships with other people, but that doesn't just mean a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a husband or a wife or a partner. You know, we've got so many other partners out there. You know, you've got your friends. Those are your partners. Those are your teammates, your family. Like, don't discredit the relationships that you have because you don't have the specific one that you want. Like, let your friends know how much they mean to you and spend time with them and quality time, and don't get down just because you don't have someone to say, this is my boyfriend or this is my girlfriend. I mean, let me tell you now that's a raging pain in the ass. Like, as much good that comes from it, sometimes it also, they will drive you absolutely insane. And it is nice to have some alone time. Like, once again, I mean, it's not, the grass is always greener. Like, when you're in a relationship, all you see is single people going out, having fun, and having all this time to themselves. And then when you're single, all you see are all these relationships. But just do what works for you. Like, don't go desperately searching for someone to make you happy, because it's just, you should make you happy. Make yourself happy. Like, you can do it. Your job can make you happy. Your school can make you happy. Your friendships, whatever, your art, getting a good grade on a test. Like, just because you don't have this one specific person to call yours that you say that you tell all these things to, doesn't mean that they don't count and they aren't wildly important, because they are. You know. And I know what it feels like to feel lonely, but you're not alone, and we're here. And if you want to reach out and talk, even if you feel like it's not this like hugely important issue, because a lot of people write in and they'll be like, I know this isn't a big deal, but if it's a big deal to you, it's a big deal. Reach out and get someone to talk to you about it. Even if it's not here, talk to some friends, talk to your family. I mean, your mom wants to talk to you. Your mother would like to speak to you and find out what's going on in your life. Trust me. Just, there are people that you can find. None of us are alone, and there are so many people in the same situation as you if you just look for them. Okay? Okay. That's it for me, guys.